Welcome to 10 by 10. I'm Stuart Rose.
And I'm Kevin Marley.
Are you looking to buy or sell a house in 2020? We go through the top 10 topics in 10 weeks. This week we're looking at preparation and staging. The perception is often that to get your house to the stage where you can get the absolute maximum sale price can be a very expensive process. This week we're going to take you through what you can do in order of cost, and you may be surprised what some of the options are. Kevin, what can we do that is a no-cost option to help people get a better sale price for their house?
Well, Stu, I think the first thing that everyone needs to think about is cleaning their home. This is one of the most important factors when a buyer first walks in. Think about it. A brand new buyer is coming in to see your home for the first time. They go into what might be their bedroom and they see a big pile of laundry sitting on the ground. Or they go into their brand new kitchen and they see a big pile of dirty dishes. Having that cleaned is paramount for them to be able to visualize themselves living in that home. The way I like to think of it is, imagine you're going to be hosting a dinner party. You want people to be able to come over, spend the night even if they have to, and not have to deal with any mess. So you're going to clean up for those people in preparation. Secondly, declutter. Again, going with the dinner party example, people need a space to walk around, they need space to put their drinks down, and so you can't have stuff covering the tables, covering your kitchen counters. People love to have appliances on their kitchen counters, but those need to be tucked away so when buyers walk in, they can imagine their stuff sitting on your kitchen counter. So Stu, these are the very first steps that you want to think about when about to show your home, but what else can you do?
Thanks, Kevin. Next up is depersonalising. Your goal is always that someone can walk into your home and imagine themselves and their family living there. That's much more difficult to do if they're in a highly personalised environment. Family photos, take them down, get them off the shelves. If you have highly individualised art, collectibles, things like that, we'd also say maybe they should go out into storage and possibly put a little budget aside for some more neutralised pieces of art. So Kevin, once we've gone through the depersonalising stage, what's next?
Well, for me, Stu, it's painting. Painting is the best cost-effective method to increase the value of your home and get it up to a fresh look for the buyers coming in. Now, when you're going to pick out those paints, make sure you're picking out paints for the potential buyers and not yourself. So this means you're looking for neutral colors that appeal to a wide audience. While you've got the furniture covered and moved out of the way, it's time to consider, does the furniture fit the room? You want the buyers to come in and be able to see what the room could be, but not be overburdened with all this furniture in their way and they can't move through the room. So this might be the perfect time to bring in a stager if that's the route you're going, and they can help you figure out how best to show off this room in this space. So Stu, what other types of professionals could come in and help you?
Well, at this point, Kevin, we're starting to get to the point where you are going to need to spend some money. So I want to be really clear about this. This is not about how much money you have in your bank account. Both Kevin and I have access to professionals that can arrange loans that can be paid off at the closing of the sale, so you can get access to money you need to make improvements on the house. This is a straightforward calculation that your realtor should be helping you with that says, if I spend this money, am I going to get that money back and more? i.e., is it going to be financially worth my while? Now, prep services are fantastic at this point. A prep service is people that are multi-skilled that can do lots of different work around your house. Both Kevin and I can give recommendations for these sorts of services if needed, but they will be the ones that will come in, they will take a look at what we might term handyman type work. The broken shelf that you've got, the door handle that isn't properly fastened on, the trim that's coming off, the little dink and hole in the wall. All of those things, relatively small, relatively inexpensive, but the impression that they give to buyers is that the house hasn't been properly maintained. So the value in fixing this is a lot more than you may actually think, and the overall impression really benefits from it. Prep services can also give you quotes on all of the work that we've talked about before. If you really have a huge amount of clutter in your house, and especially because there's an emotional impact in actually going through all this and throwing it out, we've had people that have simply said, I'm going to go away for 2 days, and when I come back, I want everything done. and we can arrange for that to happen as well. We talked very briefly about stages in the last section, and as Kevin said, when you're painting, you're moving furniture around, you're kind of getting to that point where you want to involve a stager. Now, what stagers are there to do are two things. The first is using their experience to help you work out how best to display your house. Now, if your house is vacant, they will have access to furniture and things like that, which is the second thing you should expect from them. And they can rent out enough furniture to completely make the house look lovely, and they can keep that there for as long as your house is up for sale. If you're living in the house while you're selling it, they can help you arrange your current furniture in a way that allows you to still live your day-to-day life, but also makes it as appealing as possible to new buyers coming through. Their advice, like ours, is going to be less is more in these cases. So those are sort of the mid-cost options to really start getting your house properly nice. Kevin, when do you start seeing the major money spent?
Well, I think, Stu, you'd agree that in this situation, it's best to consult your realtor. Because if your whole house is really nice and up to date, except for one room, we would most likely recommend that you bring that room up to par with the rest of the house. But if the house is in rough shape, if it's outdated or just there's some troubles with most of the rooms, that's where we would say consult your realtor, because it really is area dependent. Now, what isn't area dependent is your furnace and hot water tank. These things need to be up and running for anyone to live there, and it's going to be paid for by someone. If it's not you right now, it's going to be reflected in the purchase price of your home. And so we would recommend get that up and running and to code so that the buyers can move right in and not have to worry about that on their end. Now, curb appeal is really important when showcasing your home, because that's the first image buyers see when they see that picture of where they're going to go and view the home. And so with that in mind, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. So you want to make it really, really good. You want to make sure that everything is tidy, there's no toys lying around in the yard, and just make sure that when someone walks in there, they can say, yeah, this could be my home. But again, always consult your realtor if you're going to be doing any major work out there.
Yep, thanks, Kevin. Ultimately, this whole topic is really about saying there's very little limit to how much money you can invest into a house before selling. What we're here to do is to make sure that the money you put into that house actually makes you a profit. So you not only get back the money you've put in, but you get more on top of that to justify the time and effort involved in this, as well as the money. So thank you very much, everybody. It's been great talking to you, and we'll hope to see you next time.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yes, the things with the buttons. You should know this by now.